Shalom, this is Brother W from GMX Detroit. I would like to say all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, we crocodiles, double honors to the elders, apostles of GMS who rule well, and Shalom to the hopeful elect out there. With that being said, I want to get into a quick lesson. And yeah, this happened, just want to make a quick lesson about what happened to me a couple of days ago. I was coming home from my aunt's, visiting my aunt's, and I was stopped at the store across the street from my house, actually the gas station. And I was on my way out, and I seen this guy that I used to know in the world when I was in the world. And um, me and this guy, our sons actually played Little League football together. So, we hung around each other a lot, And come to find out the guy was, kind of, he had money, had a lot of money, abundance of money, from his, how should I say it, from him, being of the world and being, doing witchcraft, actual, actually, as we know in the scripture, I mean, drug selling. We know that being involved in drugs is actually witchcraft in the scriptures, so I want to say. So, yeah, we know this guy partaked in witchcraft and with the selling of drugs and, mixing and packaging up drugs and distributing them and whatnot. And the guy became very wealthy from that. And so me and him kicked it. We was very close friends, good friends and whatnot. Son would come spend out of my house and, play with my son and whatnot. And actually, they went to the same high school, but he was just a year under my son, and the young boy played football. It was a very, you know, gifted athlete. Yeah, I must say, it's a very gifted athlete. In football and basketball, and so we embraced each other. I'm like, hey man, I ain't seen you in a while. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, we spent, I would say about a good 4 years, in that little league football world, traveling and, just being together, several times throughout the week. And at that time I was in the world too, was hustling and I wasn't really, working. So, you would spend a lot of time at the football field and stuff like that and whatnot. So nevertheless, me and him became, kind of cool friends and we would talk sometime and whatnot and talk time to time and whatnot. Sit in the car and smoke weed back then when I was smoking weed and whatnot in that world, man. You know what I'm saying? And we were talking, chatting. He told me one day, he said, "Man, people don't even know I'm rich." You know what I'm saying? I'm like, "What?" Because he didn't really wear his money. You couldn't tell. But it was, people knew, and people would talk and stuff, and other guys were talking, and actually one of my cousins was selling a house, and I made the connection where he bought the house from my cousin, and he also bought the house next door to my cousin. So when I seen him, much we embraced and stuff, and, and I asked about his son. He said his son's about to graduate, yeah, And, so I asked him, like, what kind of car are you gonna drive go to prom? And he like, man, a Ferrari. I said, oh, okay, cool, all right. And so I said, well, I asked him, I said, how many houses you got now? He's like, I got 12 houses, and this and that, and so so I thought, that thought just, hit my mind like, damn, it's the plug right here, you know what I'm saying? And, and I was having money woes and stuff throughout the week and, throughout just throughout life, period. You're having money woes. Who don't have them, especially us in this truth, because we really, aim to get us our daily bread, so a lot of us just work, working guys, you know what I'm saying? And that's all we want to do, is work and do this do the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, because we rich in that form, you know what I'm saying, is we got this truth. So we rich, you know what I'm saying? But you would look at somebody in the world would envy him, because of his riches and whatnot, So nevertheless, we can't be blinded. We can't let the riches of the world fool us and whatnot, and the things of these world, the material of this world fool us and whatnot. And hey, it is what it is. So, you know, Satan will test us, you know what I'm saying? And so that was a part of my test, because like I've been thinking about money walls all that week, you know what I'm saying? I even played a couple of numbers, some dreams, some numbers that I had dreamt, you know what I'm saying? And actually, I'm gonna tell you what happened real quick. I was talking to some dead people. There was a couple of people, like 4 people in this dream that was dead that I talked to. Was it 4? Yeah, it was 4. It was my friend's father, my friend's cousin. It was like we had this big old party in our neighborhood. They was all dead. And then I went home to my grandmother's house and I talked to her when she just passed. And then I talked to this other guy named Tracy. He was in the dream too, and he was a friend of mine. He was passed. So I talked to all these guys, all these dead people in my dream. I talked to them. We was talking, we was chatting. And so when I was over at my auntie house that day, and they played numbers and stuff. I don't really play numbers that much. If I get a hunch, I might play a number or something like that. So I told her about the dream, and she said, "Oh, that sounds like playing for the dead. You know, that might be that. I mean, that no, that's talking to the dead. You know what I'm saying?" I said, "Oh, okay." And she's like, "That came out this morning, talking to the dead. You know, which number is I think 729 or something like that." And she's like, "That came out this morning, but it came out boxed. It didn't come out straight. It came out boxed." And I was like, "Oh man, you know what I'm saying?" So this is all part of Satan tricking your mind, right? So, you know, if I was weak, I'd be like, "Okay, I missed out on that money." And now I run into one of the biggest drug dealers in the city. That was actually my friend that I know would let me, you know, get on if I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? And you know, Satan would try to line you up like that, man. You know, try to sift you. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta go back into the when Yahweh Shai met what is it? When Yahweh Shai was taken to the top of the world. I mean, the top of the mountain. Let's see if we can find that. And I don't want to lose my spot because if you hold on, Jacob Worm. Okay, Jesus. I mean, not Jesus, but Yahweh Shai was taken to the mountain. Okay, we go to 4. And I gotta keep my finger on the screen to keep my recording going. I gotta find me a better recording app, but for this one right now, this will work for right now. I've been making this one work. So we get the KJV. Which one is it? Okay. All right. Okay, we start verse 7. It said, Yahweh Shai said unto him, it is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy power. It says again, the devil again, the devil taketh him up into an exceedingly high mountain and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them, and said unto him, all these things will I give thee, for thou fall down and worship me. And, see what Yahweh's response. And Yahweh says, then saith Yahweh unto him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shall thou serve. Yeah. It says in this verse 11, then the devil leaveth him, and behold, angels came and ministered to him. So yeah, hey man, hey, if you're feeling weak, hey, counsel with some brothers, man. Pray. You know what I'm saying? Fast. Do what you think you can do. And because Satan will still tempt you out here, even if we're in this truth, we will be tempted, man, to fall out of this truth. The devil don't want us to, Satan don't want us in this truth. You know what I'm saying? You know, so nevertheless, you know, it's his job out here to tempt you. You know, to tempt. Look what happened to Job. You know, and we know he all come from. You know, Satan is under the order of Yahweh. You know, he will send you. Yahweh will send him. You know what I'm saying, to test you, to see if you really loyal. Is this truth really something you need to be in or want to be in? You know what I'm saying? A lot of brothers in this truth fall out, man. Fall off. You know, I seen a few of them, you know, fall out. And it was like, man, I wouldn't think that guy would fall out the truth. You know what I'm saying? But it happens. You know, and when we see that, we got to strengthen. We got to strengthen each other. You know, we strengthen each other, man. So, but like I say, hey, man, you see this good stuff of the world? We can't get excited about that. We have this truth. This truth is, hey, the best thing we can have, man. This truth is the riches of the world. You know what I'm saying? We are rich in this truth. You understand? We don't have no material things and all the other, glitz and glamour, but we got this truth, man. We can actually get on our knees and say a prayer and it go up, because we have examined ourselves. We don't have iniquity stacked on us. We ain't committing sin upon sin. Instead, we live in a somewhat of a righteous life. And, we follow the laws to the best of our ability. The laws that we can't follow, we are given grace and mercy for. You know what I'm saying? Like, sleeping with the house with your woman while she's on her period. The Lord knows we can't just go sleep at the bus stop or just go ramshack and sleep in somebody else's crib or something like that. So, we are given mercy and grace for the things that we can't handle. You know what I'm saying? But to grow a beard, you can control that. To eat pork, you can control that. To eat shrimps and lobster, you can control that. To smoke weed, you can control that. Smoke cigarettes, you can control that. To sleep with a man's wife, you can control that. Those things you can control, man. You know? And you're gonna be looked upon. You're gonna be looked over on those things. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be looked at and judged on those things. Hey man, I be looking at these jakes like, hey man, just to line your hair up, you gonna be, hey, that's, hey, we gotta do these easy things that we can do, man. You know what I'm saying? The easy things. You know what I'm saying? Keeping the Sabbath. Easy things that we can do. You know what I'm saying? Those are easy, but you still slamming pork down your throat. Then you think you're gonna pray, and that prayer gonna go up to the Most High? Well, the Scripture says a sinner's prayer is not heard, man. You know what I'm saying? So, nevertheless, I want to get to another scripture, and that's I want to get this First John, 2, 15. Come on, bro. Come on, this laptop. Come on, now. First John 2 and 15. Come on. And this is First John 2 and 15. It says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. So yeah, hey, we gotta yeah, that's playing it to the point. You know what I'm saying? If you love the things of this world, the love of the Father is not in you, man. And what you think you need the love of this world more than you need the love of the Father? Hey, no, man. This world give out cancer, diabetes, high blood pressure. This is what the world got to offer your ass. HIV, nigga, a wicked woman. This is what the world gonna offer your ass. Badass kids. This is what the world got for you. You know what I'm saying? And we need Yahweh Shai to defend us from all those things right there. You know what I'm saying? So hey, man, you can keep this shit of the world, man. This world, nothing, man. This world, hey, we this being in this truth and understanding this truth is riches in itself, man. You know what I'm saying? Because like I say, we potentially can get on our knees and pray, and that prayer be answered. And I ain't saying prayer for a whole bunch of money or nothing like that. You know. And we're gonna read verse 16. It says, "For all that is in the world is the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes, the pride of life is not of the Father." It says, but of the world. It says, and the world passes away and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of Yahweh abideth forever. So yeah, we is here to do the will of Yahweh, you know what I'm saying? And we want, you know what I'm saying? And so we can abide forever, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's just that plain and simple, man. So we'll see these the section will test you with this trivial shit down here, man. The car with rims and all this other stuff and whatnot. I'm not saying that's bad. I'm not saying that's bad, but what you do to get it is bad. If you're gonna become a witch of the world, you know what I'm saying? Or you can work hard. You can work a decent job and work hard and have a car with rims if that's what you desire. You know what I'm saying? But scripture say lay off not your treasures on earth too. So we'll get that. Let's see how much time we got. Okay. That's Matthew 6 and 19. Matthew 6 and 19, it says, lay not up for yourself treasures upon earth where moth and rust do corrupt and where thieves break through and steal, but lay up for yourself treasures in heaven where neither moth nor rust do corrupt and where thieves do not break through and steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. So yeah, man. Hey, our treasure is in this truth, man. So that's where our heart is gonna be at. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we like nice things, like nice women, but hey, man, we know it's a time and a place for everything, man. You know what I'm saying? We looking for the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? The kingdom. And the kingdom is at hand right now. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't got to be sitting up here, crashing out over Esau trinkets and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because we know the devil give out things, and like I said, hey. I don't know if I covered it because I did this video a couple times because the thing was falling. Hey, the devil give out these prizes, man. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord would actually trick you. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, let's get the scripture. Hey, the Lord know how to. Hey, man, let me see if I can get it. Um, 2 Peter 2:9. Let's get that. Mm. And it reads, 2 Peter 2:9, the Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptations and to reserve the unjust until the day of judgment and to be punished. So yeah, you know, hey, even though we might see that stuff, I might see this guy and I know he's rich and know that he got the connection, he's the plug and whatnot. Hey, and I might be tempted by it, like, because I might be a little short on cash here and there. No, the Lord gonna know how to deliver me out of that. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because I'm consider myself the godly. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been doing the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, but put me in that class. So now, hey, he know how to deliver me. He know that thought just flashed through my mind and just leave me, knowing that it ain't gonna sit on my conscience and make me and tempt me and falling off into that. You know what I'm saying? No. No, like I said, the thought crossed my mind. It just, because that's what Satan do. He's gonna put the thought in your mind. It's up to you to take that thought and manifest that thought into reality. You know what I'm saying? No, but not me though. Because why? Because the Lord know how to deliver the godly out of temptations, man. But to reserve the unjust until their day of judgment and punishment. And that's what a lot of Jacobs they don't understand. They don't understand that part that their life could be good for them. Life can be going so good for them right now, and they think they God is on the side. Because I used to think that way when I was out selling drugs and everything, and I was getting all the things I wanted and whatnot, all the money I wanted. I'm like, man, the Lord really that was me in the world thinking that I had some type of favor by the Most High. Really was slated for destruction. You know what I'm saying? But hey, I heard the truth, and it snapped me back. It snapped me out of it. I was my spell was broke, and I've been in the truth ever since when I heard the truth. All praise to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua about it for the truth. All call loyal law Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man. Hey man, we thank hey man, hey man. You can never thank the Lord enough for this truth, man. Cause look what we got, man. We rich in this truth. We don't need the riches of this world. So I want to bring out one more scripture in there, and I get it. And I want to bring out this Hebrews 10. I want to bring it out in the NLT. And it reads, it says, dear friends, this is Hebrews 10:26. It says, dear friends, if we deliberately continue sinning after we have received knowledge of the truth, there's no longer any sacrifice that will cover these sins. Yeah. So why would we do that? You know what I'm saying? Why would we do that, man? You know? No, why would we do that, man? No, we not gonna make that mistake, man. We not gonna sin willingly after we know this truth, man. No, we in this, especially if you've been teaching the truth and you're gonna go back off into the world and do some shit, man, the Lord destroy you. You walking around with a damn target on your back, man. That's how I think, because actually in this truth, we don't know how the Lord interceded in our life and got us to camp, got us to where we can get home and study, got us to where we can go home do our videos. We don't know how the Lord interceded in us with all these, amongst all these people of the world. The Lord may actually have took somebody out. You know what I'm saying? For you, but then you gonna turn back into the world. Now, yeah, hey man, now that judgment on your ass. Now you slated for judgment. Got a big ass walking around like a big ass target on your back, man. And that's how I think about it, man. I don't know how the Lord interceded in my life and got me to camp that day, or you know what I'm saying. You got some brothers that had to catch the bus, and you around these wild ass niggas in the in the city and whatnot. So how it might be a vicious animal out there waiting around, lurking around in some damn alley and shit for you to walk when you walk into the bus. Anything can happen. And the Lord has seen that you got the count because He know you was doing your will, man. So that's why it's important that we don't ever drop the plow and we continue on our mission, man. We see our mission through, man. Because hey, man, it's a great reward for doing this. And even hey, man, hey, man, you could possibly even get a crown, man, from the hands of Yahweh Shai, man. Man, even if you don't get it, maybe one of your bros will get one. You know what I'm saying? You would just look at it and get crowned by your Howard shot, man, and you can go over to your bro's mansion to see his crown, and you might get one. You never know, man. Hey, man, but we want to work for that crown, and we ain't gonna let nobody take that crown from us, right? And let's end it on that script, man. Yeah, we can't let nobody what we see take our crown, man. This is Revelations 3:3 and 11. It says, "Behold, I come quickly," and he said, hold that fast, which thou hast." It says that no man take thy crown. And that's true, man. We can't let none of these people in this world take our crown from us, man. You know what I'm saying? And then we can't just, and we can't, give our crown up ourselves, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't just say, "Hey, man," we can't do that, man. You know what I'm saying? We can't do that, man. And with that being said, hey, I would like to say, hey, you know, hope this was edifying. I would like to say all praises to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Crocodiles, double honors to the elders, apostles of GMS, who taught us this truth and who rule well, and shalom to the whole elect out there.